Hi, my name is Brendan Way and I am the tea guy from theteaguy.com, and we are going to learn how to prepare traditional matcha today. So first question is, what is matcha? Well, matcha is stone ground baby tea leaves that are grown in Japan. And it was about 1,000 years ago when Buddhist monks discovered that when you consume the entire leaf, you actually derive more health benefits than just steeping the tea leaf. Okay? So what does it look like? Well, let's have a peek inside this bag and see. I'm going to use my scoop to pull out a little bit of matcha so you can see the color of it. You see it's a very, very bright green. The Buddhist monks figured out that if you diffuse the sunlight to the plant's reaction will be to inject more chlorophyll into the leaves. And that's why this stuff looks so luminescent green, simply because of the chlorophyll content, which we know is very good for us. So, getting into the tools of the matcha, let's start off with the most important piece of equipment, and that is the bowl that you're going to drink out of. The bowl is called the chawan. So the chawan has a couple of attributes which you have to be familiar with. Number one, very steep sides and a bit of a flat bottom. Okay, and a nice little drinking lip on top, and very comfortable in the hand. That's the chawan. The next tool is called the chasen. The chasen is the bamboo whisk, which is used to whisk the matcha into a fine froth. And these are the tines that allow you to do that. The chasen goes back onto a chasen holder or dryer, which allows the chasen to reform into this beautiful shape. The third tool is called the chisaku. The chisaku is the bamboo scoop which is used to scoop the matcha out of the tin and into the bowl. And it's very simply just a curved little shovel which is made out of bamboo. The other tool that I like to use is the strainer. And the strainer basket is essentially a sifter. What it does, it takes the lumps out of the matcha before you whisk it, so you don't have lumpy matcha, which is not a very good thing. Okay, so at this point what we're going to do is we're going to make traditional matcha. And to do that, I'm going to set up my tools. I'm going to lay my strainer across the bowl, grab my bag of matcha and my chisaku. I'm going to pull out a couple of scoops of matcha out of the bag. So if you look at the amount I'm using, it's roughly about a raspberry-sized scoop of matcha. It's about 0.75 of a gram. I go in, I'm going to get a second scoop. Another 0.75. So we have a total of about 1.5 grams of matcha going in here. Okay, so we use the back of the chisaku to press the matcha through the strainer. You can see it dropping through there. This will eliminate any of the lumps. So if you look at the bowl, you'll see this nice, finely sifted matcha. Okay? Okay, so now that we've got our matcha sifted, we need to add our water to the bowl. Okay? The water in this case is going to come from the zojirushi, and we're going to use the ideal green tea water temperature, which is 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 80 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to unlock this, and I'm just going to press on this, and I'm going to get 3 ounces of water. Now at home, if you're trying to prepare matcha water, you just boil your kettle, fresh water, let it sit for 10 minutes, and the temperature should drop down to roughly about 175 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So 3 ounces of water. I'm going to pour that into the bowl. Take my chasen. And the motion that works really well for me, I call it the M-shaped motion. So think of the word matcha and carve an M across the surface of the liquid. So I drop my chasen in, and I start whisking. Now the whisking motion is all in the wrist, okay? I keep my arm steady, and I let my wrist do the work. And right away, the foam starts jumping up on you. So, as I create my foam, I slow the whisking motion down. The chasen comes to a stop in the center. I pull it out, drop my chasen down, and I'm left with this beautiful, fine example of matcha foam. You can see how thick the foam is just by taking a chisaku and pulling it back. You'll see how much foam I have there. And the reason we want to create the foam is simply because this is a powder and it's suspended in the liquid. And the foam will help keep it to the surface so it's not going to settle out on you. All right? All right, now that I've made this really, really nice bowl of matcha, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the health benefits of matcha, okay? One of the things it's loaded with is chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is really, really good for the hair, for the skin, and for your fingernails. What it does, it makes them a lot stronger and healthier, and your skin is going to get really, really silky soft. All right? The other thing that matcha has is a lot of antioxidants. In fact, it is the highest known source of antioxidants on the planet today. And antioxidants have been linked to lowering the risk of cancer, heart disease, and blood pressure, as a matter of fact. Because matcha is so rich and full of tannins, it has a tendency to upset some people's stomachs. So what I recommend is that you eat a little bit of food, like some toast or a little bit of fruit, before you consume your matcha. Okay? The recommended daily dose of matcha is probably 2 to 4 grams, which is essentially 1 to 2 bowls of matcha a day.